Let us begin by looking at your experience as a human being on Earth. You live in a very exciting time when humankind has made immense progress and where it seems as if every day new discoveries are made, new forms of technology are developed. Yet what is it that drives this immense progress? It is indeed that humankind has expanded its understanding of the world. Yet what is the basis for this expansion of understanding? Well, from a superficial viewpoint, you might say that it is information. Human beings today have infinitely more information about the material universe and how it works than the caveman of only a few thousand years ago. And it is certainly true that information has driven progress, but as I have just explained, there is a deeper dimension. For where does information exist? It becomes useful only when processed by a human mind. You may take all of the information discovered about the physical universe and encode it into a computer. You can get the computer to organize and manipulate this information in various ways, but you cannot get the computer to understand what this information means to a human mind. So you can see that even though people have made tremendous progress, this progress has been made only on one side of the coin of life. Human beings, at least in the Western world, have so far ignored the other side of the coin of life. They have attempted to gather information about the material world, but they have not attempted to study the very instrument that allows them to gather and apply this information, namely the human mind. So can you also begin to glimpse that if people would indeed start studying the mind, then even more progress could be made than what you see today? What I am giving you here is an alternative to the worldview of both religion and materialistic science. What I am giving you is a vision that everything in the material universe, including Mother Earth, is truly made up through a process that has not yet been understood by either mainstream religion or science. Let me give you a deeper description of this process. Let us begin by going beyond the material universe. I have said that the material universe exists in a certain spectrum of frequencies, and that there are energy frequencies beyond the material universe, namely a spiritual realm. If you continue to go towards higher and higher frequencies, you would, from a logical, linear viewpoint, think you would end up at the ultimate frequency. This is both true and not true. There is indeed a highest frequency in what we might call the world of form, but this highest frequency is not the ultimate reality. For you see, for there to be a frequency, there must be a wave. And for there to be a wave, there must be something that can vibrate. A wave in the ocean propagates through the medium of water. A radio wave propagates through a medium, as does sound. So what you realize here is that for there to be any kind of vibration, there must be some basic substance or reality that can be put into vibration. Where does the basic substance come from? Well, if you go beyond the realm of what vibrates, you go into an entirely different realm that cannot be fathomed by the linear state of consciousness and cannot be described by the linear medium of words. Yet this is nevertheless a state of consciousness. It is a unified, omnipresent state of awareness, which is what people for many thousands of years have been calling God. Although most of the people who use the word God have not even begun to understand the state of consciousness I am talking about. Anytime you see people talk about a God and then apply some kind of form, some kind of linear form to that God, they have not understood the true nature of God. In reality, God is beyond anything that has form, anything that vibrates. When you go beyond the level of vibration, then you go into the pure awareness that is God. This is a self-aware being, which I would like to call the Creator. This Creator is the source, the origin of the entire world of form in which you live. Yet this Creator is nothing like the Old Testament God or the many other images of God found in religions around the world. The Creator has no form. The Creator is the source of form. The Creator is a self-aware being with a state of consciousness, self-awareness that is beyond what anyone on earth can even begin to fathom. You can, however, use the mind's ability to get at least a glimpse of this state of awareness. And throughout the ages, many people have indeed had such mystical experiences. The Creator is a self-aware being with a desire to create, to express itself. This is not something that was forced upon the Creator. It is driven by love, an unconditional form of love that wants to be expressed and that finds ultimate joy in expressing itself. Thus, the Creator created the world of form in which you live out of pure love, out of pure joy. Yet how did the Creator create the world of form? We have released another book given by Lord Maitreya that explains this in more detail, but I will give a brief summary here. In the Creator's self-awareness, there can be no distinction, no separation. Thus, it actually is not possible for the Creator to create something that has a distinct or separate form. So in order to create anything, the Creator must begin by creating a void in which form can exist and appear to be separate. Thus we might say that the Creator withdrew its own being, its own presence, and created a space, a void. The Creator then created a sphere in the center of this void. The sphere was created out of the basic substance of creation, which is what I, in another book, have called the matter light. This is a substance that cannot be detected by any material instrument, for the simple reason that it has no form. It does not even have vibration, but it has the potential to be stirred into vibrations. If you want a linear illustration, which of course can only be inaccurate, then consider the ocean when it is completely still and without any waves. This ocean can be said to have no waves, but when a wind starts blowing, then the ocean can be stirred into waves. And the waves can be detected, but the ocean itself cannot. This matter light, however, is not something that exists separately from or independently of the Creator. The Creator fashions the matter light out of its own being, out of its own consciousness. For at the level of the Creator, there is nothing but consciousness. After having created the initial sphere and having created certain structures, certain forms within that sphere, the Creator then projected extensions of itself into that sphere. These extensions took on the form of separate beings with a localized sense of self-awareness. This is in contrast to the Creator, which has an omnipresent, non-localized sense of self-awareness. We might say that the Creator is able to look at its creation from every single point at the same time, but it cannot look at its creation from one single point exclusively. It obtained this capability only by creating extensions of itself that appear as separate, individual beings that look at the world of form from a particular localized vantage point. After this initial sphere was created, the self-aware extensions of the Creator begin the process of expanding their sense of self-awareness until they no longer saw themselves as separate, localized beings, but had become aware of themselves as extensions of the omnipresent Creator. And when they had attained that level of self-awareness, their entire sphere was raised to a higher level of vibration. Their entire sphere ascended and now became part of what you today, from your vantage point, see as the spiritual realm. The initial sphere was not the only sphere. There have been several of these spheres, and your material universe is part of the latest of these, which is the 7th in number. The latest sphere in which you find yourself has not yet reached the ascension point, because there are not enough beings within it who have reached the level of self-awareness, where they see themselves as extensions of the Creator. Do you see that the purpose for the entire world of form is not as traditional religion might have it, that the Creator desires to be worshipped and admired? The deeper purpose is that each self-aware extension of the Creator has the potential to expand its self-awareness until it reaches the same level of awareness as the Creator. In the New Testament, there is a situation where Jesus is accused of blasphemy, and he refers to a statement from the Old Testament which says, "Ye are gods." The reality is that each human being is a god in the making. Regardless of the level of self-awareness you have today, you have the potential to expand your self-awareness and to continue to do so. The first threshold that will be passed for you is when you reach the level of the ascension, where you can ascend from the material realm and become an ascended, immortal being in the spiritual realm that is right above the material universe in vibration. Yet even from there, you can continue to grow through all of the previous spheres until you reach the highest of these spheres. And then you can cross another threshold and attain the self-awareness of a Creator. Thereby, you become able to create your own world of form, your own universe. This is the purpose of life, the purpose of creation, the growth in self-awareness. What has happened on Earth from the caveman stage to the present civilization is that there has been a growth in self-awareness. And this growth could take a quantum leap if the people who are ready and who have taken embodiment for this purpose will become more aware of the potential of the human mind. For when you take what I have told you here and in the previous keys, you realize that everything is created out of one basic substance that I call the matter light. This matter light has the potential to take on any form, yet it cannot take on form by itself. It takes on form when a self-aware being envisions that particular form and then projects that form onto the matter light. Do you recall I said that the so-called miracles performed by Jesus were not miracles by the application of a higher natural law? Well, the reality is that when you reach a certain level of self-awareness, you become able to activate this natural law. Thereby, you will be able to consciously formulate an image and consciously project it onto the matter light, whereby you will instantly see the matter light conform to the image and thereby manifest the form that you envisioned. When Jesus looked at a man with a withered hand, his consciousness did not see what the consciousness of most human beings would have seen. He did not see a withered hand. He did not see any imperfect state as real or permanent. Jesus saw beyond the outer form of the withered hand. He saw that the withered hand was made up of a basic substance that had only temporarily taken on the form of the withered hand. Yet Jesus also saw that this substance, this matter light, could as easily take on the form of a perfectly healthy hand as the form of that it had temporarily taken on. Jesus saw that the withered hand was simply a manifestation of the man's imperfect and unbalanced state of consciousness. And thus, what Jesus did was that he held the vision for a healthy hand, and he superimposed that vision upon the matter light that made up the withered hand. And because Jesus' consciousness was so much higher than the consciousness of the man with the withered hand, Jesus' consciousness could override the other man's consciousness and thus instantly heal the hand. Yet be careful to realize that there were people that sought healing from Jesus, but Jesus did not heal them. The reason is that Jesus did not come to do everything for everyone. He came to show people what they have the power to do by developing the same state of consciousness that Jesus had attained. Thus, he only performed certain healings as a demonstration of what was possible. And it was, of course, the intention that people should then use this to develop the powers of their own minds, instead of looking to Jesus to do it all for them. And this is indeed the shift that needs to happen among the spiritual and open-minded people in today's world. If you are truly concerned about planet Earth and the future of planet Earth, then the most important thing you can do is to begin to expand your understanding of the human mind and its true potential. You may right now look at environmental problems or natural disasters and think you are powerless to change them. But as I have said before, this is because you are looking at these problems through the filter of the same state of consciousness that created them. That state of consciousness is very much focused on the material world, and it tends to see material conditions as real. Therefore, to this state of consciousness, material conditions form a real limitation, a real boundary for human capabilities. Yet, as I have attempted to explain, once you raise your consciousness beyond that level, you begin to glimpse, gradually and over time, that there is a deeper understanding of life. Matter is not truly as real as it appears to the senses, and a certain level of awareness. And once you begin to realize that matter is not ultimately real, then you also begin to accept that matter does not form an impenetrable boundary. Matter is not beyond change. You may look at planet Earth today, and you may think that pollution or global warming has gone beyond a threshold from which there is no way back, and things can only get worse. But once you raise your awareness, you see that every condition that could possibly exist in a physical form can be changed by applying a higher vision. Once you begin to realize that every physical form is the outpicturing of information that has been applied to the basic substance of the matter light, well then, my beloved, you realize that any physical form can be changed by applying different information to that same matter light. This is not unlike what you have experienced when working on a computer. You know that what appears as images on your computer screen does not have an ultimate reality. You can in various ways change the appearance of any image on your computer screen. And how is this accomplished? The image on the computer screen is made up entirely of information. On the computer's hard drive or in its memory, the image you see does not exist. There are only zeros and ones arranged in different sequences. So by applying a different sequence, a different form of information, you can change the image on the computer screen, and you can do so instantly. The computer screen has the capability to display any image you can imagine, but of course it cannot imagine images on its own, so it can only outpicture what you apply to it. This is the same with Mother Earth. Mother Earth has the potential to outpicture the abundant life and a completely balanced state of nature. The current imbalances in the form of natural disasters, pollution, or the lack of resources or food are brought about because Mother Earth is outpicturing the imbalances in the collective consciousness of humankind. Yet if a critical mass of people will attain a higher vision and use the powers of their minds to superimpose that vision upon the physical planet, then you will indeed begin to see changes. Take note that I am not hereby saying that those who are concerned about the future of Mother Earth should not take physical actions. I am not trying to say that you should sit in a cave in the Himalayas and meditate all day, and that you should withdraw from society. On the contrary, it is not my intention here to say that people who have been engaged in the environmental issue or social or political issues should withdraw. However, it is indeed my intention to say that if you will make an effort to raise your level of consciousness, you will find that you will gradually begin to attain a new understanding, a new vision of the problems that you today might see as being beyond change, and thus you will gain a new foundation for engaging yourself in society. You will become one of the forerunners for taking the debate in society to a new and higher level, where indeed people will begin to see solutions that they cannot see today. Can you see, my beloved, that there was a time when people had not discovered bacteria, and therefore many diseases seemed completely incurable? Yet with the simple discovery of bacteria as the cause of many diseases, there was instantly a shift in the debate around health. Suddenly, people could see ways to cure diseases that had not been seen before. Is it therefore that difficult to understand that if the environmental debate and the general debate in society could be lifted to a higher level, then people would begin to find ways to combat pollution and global warming that simply cannot be seen today? It is not that the solutions are not there. It is simply that they have not been discovered. But the reason why they have not been discovered is that so far the debate has been centered on superficial conditions that are not the real cause. Yet, if the debate was to be expanded to include the deeper causes, then the solutions would become apparent. This, then, is the vision I wanted to give you in order to set a foundation for the coming sections of this book. We have now set a sufficient foundation, and I would therefore like to take the book in a slightly different direction. It may seem as if what is going to follow will go in a different direction than you might expect, yet I assure you that I have good reason for making this shift. For it is indeed our intention to give you a deeper understanding of how the material universe was created, before we then again begin to talk more specifically about the state of Mother Earth, including environmental problems and such problems as the fact that 2/3 of the world's population is living beneath the poverty level, with millions and millions of people living one meal away from starvation. So allow me to build upon the foundation and give you a deeper understanding of the spiritual causes behind the material phenomena with which you are concerned.